Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my weekly check-in. We're weekly checking in on the 12th through the 18th of July, and I'm excited to get into this. Now there's some extra spending here, more decisions to make, where's the money coming from, so on and so forth, for the rest of the weekly check-ins and the end of the month paycheck too. So I'll be going over a little bit of all that, and yeah, we're just going to head and dive in. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. I do monthly budgets, paycheck to paycheck budgets. I also do weekly check-ins, sinking fund budgets with savings tracker, as well as the mortgage Monday on the first Monday of every month. I try to do that right after my mortgage is paid and once I have the numbers. So that is always the most exciting video of the month, but I also really enjoy doing these because this is what keeps me on track or shows me where I'm going off track. And sometimes I make the choice to go off track, and that's what you're going to see this month. We just can't stop enjoying and having things and doing things and spending. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the warm weather, but that's kind of where we're at right now. So hopefully we can stay in budget for the rest of the month. We have here in the weekly check-in part, that's the spending calendar. This is the weekly check-in. We had $1,007.67 for the weekly check-in and grocery household. Restaurants had $203.30. Miscellaneous had $182.72. Gas had $13.37, and copay was $75. And no unbudgeted. I'm not giving myself unbudgeted. No excuses to spend the buffer, though. We're probably going to spend the buffer. It's a little bit of a buffer, but I know we're already dipping into that, and I will explain that, but I'm not going to put it under unbudgeted. I'm just going to put it under the category it matches the most. This is usually typical for something that's a few $100s that a spur of the moment thing that we had to buy or wanted to buy that was extra on top of what we planned for the month. Okay, so my spending calendar here, again, we're on the 12th through the 18th. These I'm going to wait on. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you up front, these Amazon purchases and these Amazon purchases, half miscellaneous, half grocery, were during Amazon Prime deal days, and a lot of that is in here, and then some things that were on sale that my husband got. I think in this transaction alone, if I go back and look at Amazon, it was probably $35, $40 worth of savings in this one. And then this one, I think $20 savings in this one as well. So there were some pretty good deals on things that I normally buy that I don't have to buy next month. It would have been stuff I would have bought next month. So I'm adding it into this month's budget, but I'm going to allow myself to go over in categories and roll it over into next month, and then reduce what I'm have available for next month. So I would have spent it in next month anyway, because these are routine things that I get, but I decided just to go over and then pay it off next paycheck period, or next month, which is the next paycheck period. I know it's a mouthful. So we're going to ignore the 19th and 20th. And we'll talk about the movies that my husband and I purchased tickets for. One was a matinee, one was not a matinee, and that's for the 20th and 21st. So yes, we're going to movies twice this weekend. We're seeing Twisters on Saturday, and we're excited about that because we saw Twister, the first movie, in 1996, the year my husband and I got married. It was one of our first movies after we got married. And so it's kind of cool to go to this one too, all these years later, and still be married. So, because we've been married, almost 20, it'll be 28 years in August. So, long time. But I am excited about it. And I think it's going to be a really good movie. The other movie is Disciples in the Moonlight, which is really good if you're a faith-based person or if you're a Christian and you love Christian movies and stuff. This is going to be an action thriller, and basically it's a really good movie on an underground group of people keeping the original Bibles that we have in our society today. They're trying to get them to as many people as possible in an underground kind of way, like underground churches and stuff like that, because the new Bible that came out that the president said, hey, this is how we're going to worship and everybody's going to have the same thing, then, which is, a fictional movie, so it's funny, think of it that way, but it could happen, I guess, and I just thought it was a good concept for a movie. So yeah, if you're into that, that's out this weekend. I think it's over on Sunday or Monday, I can't remember which, so if you're watching it now, today, as I upload it on the 19th, go check out the movie. So anyway, if not, it'll be DVD or streaming. All right, back to the original programming. Let's go over the numbers. So we're doing grocery household here, and that's these pink stickers. And first one I have here is $16.32. I needed a couple items from the grocery store that day, and for a meal. And I can't even think of what it was. So a lot of these I'm not going to remember, but if I can find out, I'll let you know. My mind right now, I have a lot of brain fog going on with approaching the age that I am, and I'm really struggling with it. So 3603, that's another, okay, I went in and grabbed 2 items, and then my husband, no, that was something extra here. Here on the 14th, you see 3 transactions of groceries. So the 3603 was my husband. He went shopping on his own, even though we went together, and he bought his stuff and went to the car. I was like, okay. I took a little longer to shop, so 113.48. These were mostly meats for the week. I freeze my chicken a lot, but I don't freeze my ground beef as much, and steaks I don't freeze. And so I would buy meats like that or pork chops or whatever in order to have ready meals for the first of the week. So there were some specific things that I needed meat-wise there, and some other stuff. Amazon 52.57. I think one of them was a liquid IV for $24, and it's a pack of 16, I think, or 14. And then there was something else I got, and I can't remember what that was. Oh, I know what the other thing was. It was a calendar. It was a wall or desk calendar, so it's usually really huge, about, I don't even know the dimensions of it, but anyways, it hangs in my kitchen, and that's how, it's kind of like my central hub for the family. If there's doctor's appointments, if I'm going to be babysitting, like my neighbor, I babysit my neighbor's daughter once or twice a month for doctor's appointments that they may have and things like that. So I was just like, okay, I need that calendar because it's ending in July. And my husband already has appointments in August and stuff, so I needed the new one. So that's what I got there. So the liquid IV, and then the calendar, and then 46.68. Okay, check these off. Meyer, and then 1503. I really have no idea, but I know they're probably groceries, and I'm not sure why they're separated, but they're both Meyer. I know I went in once. I bet you my husband got something again, and then I got something, and he's weird that way. My husband, love him, he has PTSD, so being in a grocery store with people, or a crowded mall or things like that, it just raises his anxiety. So he'll think, I need to get something. I'm like, okay, and he'll go get it, and then he'll just go sit out in the car. He's just more comfortable out there. So I get it, it's fine. So a lot of the transactions are split, but they're the same thing. So that's okay. And then I bought more groceries for the week, 88.51. Have no idea what I bought. I'm sure my sons requested a bunch of stuff, and my husband. That's why I keep going back, because they forget to tell me things, and I don't go in their like bathrooms and things like that and check and see what they need. I can only do what's in the, I usually only do what's in the pantry and the fridge. So these are all the spending transactions for this paycheck, or this week, for the charges that we spent in grocery household. Okay, so this week we have $365.92. So that is what I want to put here. Next we have restaurants. We have 3 restaurants that we spent for Papa John's delivery for my sons, $31.52. And then this also happened here on Friday. I just nothing happened on Saturday, but no spending, I should say. My husband and I went to Steak and Shake and got dinner and dessert, so it was $31.59. And then my husband here, I'm not sure what I was doing on Monday. I went and took my mom furniture shopping, and then we had a late lunch, so I wasn't really hungry for dinner. So I said, well, why don't I grab you a sandwich from somewhere? So he said Burger King. That was $12.39. I had already fed the kids and their meals, so I just didn't feel like eating late in the evening or later that evening when he came home, and he was starving, so that's what that was. Normally I would have dinner ready, but I was coming home so late from furniture shopping with my mom, and then we looked at, I think, 3 or 4 furniture stores, and it was just a long day. So let's total these up. All right, we have $75.50, which is a nice round run number. I like that. And then we have gasoline, which, let's see, I could burn, yeah. Oh, I forgot this, Myers. All right, did I check everything I was supposed to? Okay, so restaurant, oh, miscellaneous is next. That's the order I'm trying to go. I'm confusing myself. So my husband bought something on Etsy. There was a company on Etsy that made leather and metal bracelets. And there are 3 or 4 men that my husband knew. And this is why his PTSD is really bothering him. Names he's never actually mentioned to me that have passed on, and he's struggling with the memory of all of that. So he made a memory bracelet for them with their names on it, and he ordered it on Etsy, and it was on sale for $54.81. It's normally $70. It's really nice quality stuff. So I said, go ahead and get it, because if it's going to help him feel better and cope with what he's thinking or dealing with, then yeah, I want him to have it. I have no problem with that. $7.50. He took our youngest son fishing, and they got wormies and stuff. And that is something they love to do, is go fishing. So I got this backwards. $54.81 plus the $7.50. If you pray, please pray for my husband and his PTSD, but also all the service members all over the world that have to experience some of the darkest things that we never have to worry about, and that we actually enjoy watching on television. They actually live it in their lives, and then have to live with it for the rest of their lives. So just if you are one of those people, please do. I would appreciate that, and I'm sure they would appreciate it as well. So $62.31 is what we spent there in miscellaneous. And then gasoline. I did have to get gas the other day because I did do a lot of driving. I was driving my mom around places and back and forth and stuff like that. So we are over budget in gasoline for the month, $70.15. Normally it's in the 60s, high 60s, but it actually crossed over into $70 because I ran the gas tank down a lot lower than I normally do. I did this last time as well. So twice this month I've had $70 purchases in gasoline, but I normally only use 20 gallons of gas when I go by the time I go to the gas station, and it was down to like 23 gallons of gas. I have a 29-gallon tank, so I was running it a lot lower than I normally do. So there's that. Now I have co-pays. So the first one I have is here, this Walgreens. My son's allergy medicine for 9 months is $227. $416 for Meyer Pharmacy. That's mine. One of my prescriptions. I can't remember which one it is. And then Walgreens for $13.76. That is my youngest son's prescription. I checked all of those off. So everything checked off, right? Because most of the time I forget. And then I have bills. So everything I spend on here, the reason I track it, the reason I, go through the budget and say, hey, this category has this amount of money, this category has this amount of money, is because it all goes on the credit card, and I got to use the cash that I have in my checking account, and it comes out of the budget of the checking account. Everything you see here affects the checking account. It's the money in, it's the money out. And I have to track it all and to make sure I do it. Now, I'm one of those nerds that enjoys tracking. Not everybody does, so it may not be something enjoyable, but once you get into a rhythm, maybe put some music on that you enjoy or have a beverage or whatever, and make it a little bit pleasurable, it'll be easier to come in and do the budgeting. And I enjoy the sticker aspect of it as well. I don't know if I'm going to continue it this way. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for 2025 yet, but I'll have to think about it. And I normally don't, I don't get this particular planner, the Erin Condren monthly planners, until Black Friday, because it's a higher percentage of discount. I try to do it that way. So anyways, here I have a couple bills. I will talk about that in a minute, but we're going to go through and, oh, I forgot to put the number here. $2.27, hitting all the wrong buttons here, plus the $4.16, plus the $13.76. Okay. Oops, 6. There we go. That was $20.19 is what I spent there. So now that I've got that done, I can put these numbers in here. I'm just going to fold my notebook because it's easier and angle it just a little bit for a second. I hope you don't mind. Now, check marks mean I paid the credit card, and I showed the example of the first week of the weekly check-in. If I divide it by the number of weeks left, I can know how much I have per week. If I wanted to know that, though, it won't be enough for the rest of the month. I can tell already by looking at the numbers behind the scenes. So now we're going to go over this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these totals. So I have $1,007.67 minus the $365.92. That still leaves me $641.75. I've paid this already for spending and grocery to the credit card. So the credit card's already been paid down or paid off, and then charges have already been put on again. So that's how it works. It's just revolving. It's always revolving. Let's see, if I divide it, I have 2 weeks left. It's $320 a week. I think I can stay in that range. I think I can. This is $365. So if I make sure I use what's in my freezer and really pay attention to what I need and just focus on getting more milk. That's the one thing we run out of all the time. I'm already down to, I keep 4 gallons of milk in my fridge at all times just because my sons love milk and they drink a lot of it. So there's that. 203.30 minus 75.50. I still have 127.80. I know that's going to be gone because I need at least $100 a week. I know tomorrow we're going to buy an extra medium pizza because we're going to take it to my parents, have dinner at my parents' house. Because Friday night, or tonight, I should say, which is Friday night pizza night. So divide that by 2. $63 a week. If my husband and I stop going out, yeah, I think we can handle that. But we'll have to wait and see. I might be a little bit over in restaurants for the month. But that has already been paid. 182.27 minus the 62.31, and that gives us 119.96. Paid that already. Divide that by 2 weeks left, and that's just under $60 in miscellaneous a week. Yeah, that's going to be way over, because I bought stuff for next month and this month. So I'll just roll over the balance into next month and lower something in the categories. So we'll have to wait and see what that looks like. Gas, I'm over budget. I had $13.37. I'm going to have to up this up somehow. I don't know, something's got to give. So $70.15 here. And that gives us a negative $56.78. But I've already paid it. And then I don't think I'm going to have to get gas. but the rest of this month, but I think I will the first of next month. So that's kind of how it's usually twice a month that I'm getting gas. But the extra gas for this month happened to be some gas that my husband spent, which he's not been spending a lot on gas, but he has been driving his Jeep more, so that's what threw us off this month. All right, $75 minus the $20.19 here, and that's $54.81. All right, so that is done. Now, that's the weekly check-in. These are the totals. And I went ahead and paid the credit card with that. So let's go to the bill calendar here, which is the first calendar in here. And the only bills that I have, and you're not going to see one of them on here, but the only bill I really had on here that I knew was coming was the $285.73. All right, and I've already checked that off. I check them off as the bills get posted. So let's see here. I need to add in these two on my monthly. I haven't done that yet. So I think I'm going to put them right here. So anytime I have additional charges that aren't really on the monthly budget, if I have extra lines in here, then I'll use it. Like I would erase the buffer if I needed it. But I'm going to put over here on this side because I have these available. And I had two extra things that weren't on the original budget. And that was a check to TM. That's our contractor. So I'm going to write check TM here. I'm going to put 0 here because this number doesn't change. But I'm going to put the actual that's here. And you'll see this in the paycheck video. And I'll explain that then. $650 is what we paid him. And the sinking funds video will explain it in depth. So there you go. Dad credit card. That's what that is. Dad CC. And that's $880.42. So I've had charges on my credit card for a while that haven't been paid for. And that was just for gas and travel and hotel stays and things like that. While I was helping my parents move from North Carolina to Kentucky, he promised to pay, and he paid more than we asked, and that will be in our Paycheck 2 video as well, how much he paid. So I want to put the $880.42 here. So when I do the actuals, it's going to increase this number by this. But I've already increased the deposit up here, so I need that to flow. Most people like to do just the monthly budget and it's all on one page, but I like also getting into the nitty-gritty fine details of a paycheck to paycheck. That just makes more sense to me, but I still do the monthly because it gives me an estimate for the whole month and make sure I have enough income covering all the expenses that's happening for a month, and then I can like spread it out a little bit over 2 pages. So I've already got it here. I don't need to write that in. What was I doing? Oh, this $880. So as you can see, I've already included it in my Paycheck 2 budget. I knew it was coming. I just didn't do it in the monthly. And you got to see in real time what I actually do sometimes. So that $880.42 was also paid, and you'll see that in the paycheck. I just put it under the bills because these are the bills here. And it usually starts, my bills start here on the calendar. And then they move here, and then I also add them on. I also do the split with the 2 paychecks, and the bills are listed here alongside the variables that are happening. So I just like to keep a flow of going one thing to the next, and make sure it stays up to date. Whew, that's a lot. Okay, so now that I got all of that done, let's see how much the bills were. So we had $285.73 plus the $880.42 that I paid on the credit card. So that was $1,166.15. Again, my dad gave me plenty of cash to cover his part, and then I got to pay that part off that's been sitting on the credit card since May and June over that time period. So that is where that came from. So we're going to add up all of these, and then I'm going to have a number that tells me how much to pay back to credit card. It should match what I've already paid, and it's going to be a large number because of this. So let's do that. Okay, so I have to pay, and I already did, $1,760.22. That is what we pay back the credit card this month to bring it back to zero before week 4 started. So now I'll have all the weekly check-in done. I have the bills. We're going to go ahead and do the numbers for week 4. We're going to set this up. So whatever my ending balance here is, it's my new balance here. So we're just transferring numbers, and this is what we have to work with. $641.75 for the rest of the month. $127.80 for restaurants. $119.96 for miscellaneous. I'm going to skip gas for a second. $54.81 for copay. I should not need any more copay for the rest of this month, so this can absorb some of the negative numbers that we have. In fact, it should absorb the gas that we spent, so that was lucky, and we had no unbudgeted. Now where I'm going to be over in week 4, that's coming out of the buffer, the checking account, and I'll explain that in paycheck too, what is more than the few dollars that we thought we were going to have in the buffer. That's actually changed. Maybe I did already explain it in my setup. I did. I had $165 left over because my dad gave me $1,000. I had $25 deposit. That cancels out with that because I just moved that from savings. So these two numbers were new and extra. So I had $165. I'm actually down to $50 right now. So that tells you what I spent already. $56.78, and I really got to pay attention what's in the checking account and what gets balanced forward to next paycheck period to cover the money that we spent in the next paycheck period. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Not a lot of money to cover the rest of the month, which is 2 full weeks. Today's what is today? The 19th, and we still have to get through the 31st. So not good at all. How much do we have? $641.75 plus the $127.80 plus the $119.96. I'm going to add the $54.81, and then I'm going to subtract this $56.78, and that is what we have divided by 2 weeks. We only have $443 for the next 2 weeks. And that's it. So that includes grocery, household, restaurants, miscellaneous, gas, and copays. We know we have no more copays. We know we probably will have no more gas charges. Miscellaneous, these are the ones. This actually takes care of that, and I borrowed a couple dollars from the others. And then this is all we're really working on or living off of it for each week, $443. So that's what we have for the rest of the month. So I have $887 for the last 2 weeks of the month. Whew. That's tight. So I am coming down from a lifestyle of having more income than what I have here. Not normal, but more than what I have here. And my spending categories really have to drop because I just don't have the wiggle room I used to have, and I am struggling to get my mindset less. And I think the issue for me right now, as I go through these numbers last month and this month, is stocking up. I like to stock up. I don't stock up a lot. Like, I don't have like a 3-month pantry or anything like that, but I like to go ahead and use coupons that are already there on things I'm going to use in the future. And I don't have a need right now. So I think I'm going to have to change my mindset on, I can't really stock up as much as I'm doing because it's really causing problems, and I have to decide what is an essential stock up and what isn't an essential stock up. Just because it's on sale doesn't mean it won't be on sale again, and I can wait till then if I don't need it right away. So yeah, just something for me to think about. But that's the weekly check-in. That was me paying back the credit card and what the bills were this month or this week. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
I love the things you said to me, it seems like you like me too. We can take it slow, make sure we do this right.